taking his phone.
Search.
I've seen your actually.
No, I read the LA Times class, but not as bad.
We all want your picture, man. Huh? Very real. Rick, yeah, Rick.
Coming down, you know, so they have the athletes coming out here and have a wall of cameras and everything.
Right now, I wouldn't trade that tip in the pool for being on TV, I'm here to tell you.
I'll tell you a good picture if you want to get somebody to have a camera, which I don't think we do. There's Mary Perillo interviewing Brad Gilbert right there. Nobody's paying any attention to him.
Well, they had instant service before the plant. Told Sally, we got 15 minutes, take care of it now, send somebody to that table, and she did.
Really, did it?
Right on the spot.
Good person you are.
Kitchen Yellow is still laying out.
Huh?
Kitchen Yellow is still laying out.
Thanks.
You bet.
I told him, I says, ich wünsche dir Glück. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't.
I'd love to have it.
Jacuzzi, where you're able to friend, there's another one over there. It's as big as your head.
What?
Tell my son, could you be, maybe serious suckling?
I'm just
So you're working me, dear. I mean, you are really working me.
what's more,
Ladies and gentlemen, on my left, this young man won Wimbledon at the age of 17. He has collected 43 tour titles, including 3 Wimbledon titles, the 1989 US Open and the 1991 Australian Open, after which he was ranked #1 in the world. He has been ranked in the top 10 9 out of the last 10 years. An outstanding member of the German Davis Cup team and 2-time Newsweek Champion Cup winner. Please welcome back from Le Mans, Germany, Boris Becker.
James Becker. 15. Game AGASSI. Game Becker.
Be in. Yeah! Good look to the knee. I don't really care if I just can't see Harry taking the money.
Ladies and gentlemen, today immediately following a second match.
Look at 10. Good. 40. Game over. Fifteen. 30. Deuce. Game. Five games on. Oh, 1-0, Becker. First serve. Game. 6-4, 7-6. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we invite you to stay in your seats. Coming up in just 1 minute, our encore interview with the winner, AGASSI. We'll have some questions from the fans, and then coming up shortly after that, our Harmon Challenge. So please stay with us.
Well, if they ask me, I'm going to say, Andre, can I party with you tomorrow after you take it off? The question from the Oh, that was great. So what's happening now?
Hey, Connie. We could power some. He wants to play the House of Blues. Connie.
These ones and the corridors are presented by Henry Thomas and Recreation Course number 739 from Indio, California. Again, to sing the national anthem is recording artist Jimmy Hopper.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you back to the Men's Championships of the Newsweek's, brought to you by Harman International. Welcome back for our finals. After a week of the finest tennis in the world, we have a dream final today here on the stadium court. Our first player was a singles winner last year in Scottsdale, Toronto, Vienna, Paris, and at the U.S. Open. In 1994, he became the first player ever to move from the outside the top 20 to finish #2 in the same year.
Andre's opponent is the youngest man ever to win the U.S. Open when he accomplished that feat in 1990 at the age of 19. He has 30 career IBM ATP Tour singles titles, including an Australian Open, 2 Wimbledon Championships, and 2 U.S. Opens. He has been ranked #1 in the world continuously since September of 1993. From Tampa, Florida, please welcome the Newsweek Champions Cup defending champion and top seed, Pete Sampras, ladies and gentlemen. And our IBM ATP chair umpire for this match this afternoon is Steve Ulrich from Tampa, Florida.
1 minute. First serve. There we go.
Oh, that was
Southern California and Desert Area Cadillac dealers welcome you to the 1995 Newsweek Champions Cup. I would like to wish both players good luck throughout the tournament weekend.
Hey, give me a hug.
Quandrix Corporation introducing its new Hamilton Conqueror tennis racket and is proud to be the official racket sponsor of the Newsweek Champions Cup. And Penn, America's #1 tennis ball, is proud to sponsor the 1995 Newsweek Champions Cup.
I'm gonna walk around and get in you. That's all I'm saying. Your chain towel. Okay, I wonder where they're M&M. Hey, you. Hey, you. I was standing up. Excuse me, miss. What's the score?
It's love. Haven't started this set yet. Match. Point. Game. Get those confused.
Go on, right?
Was it okay? Was it?
Game. Holding back.
kicked out. Time out.
First serve.
One. There's another one.
Correction. Way left.
Really, the body language he wants to be putting over on this. He did this right in the warm-ups of the Australian Open final, his first major final against Korda. He hit 2 shots in the warm-ups behind his back. I mean, trying to sort of de-weight the occasion, downplay it. And I just don't think you can really do that. I mean, at a certain point, you can't really be in denial about how important a match like this is. You have to go after it. Agassi is putting over a very, very different look. 27 years old now. This guy's had so many ups and downs, so many comebacks in his career, and his whole attitude is, hey, guess what? I grew up wanting this occasion. I came back wanting this moment. I've been killing myself the last couple of months. He's lost almost 20 pounds. He's in very fine shape. His whole attitude is, I've been working this hard so I can play on Sunday. And here's how he got to Sunday. A couple of easy first-round matches. Had to mix it up with Albert Costa of Spain. That went 3. And the rest of it has been very solid.
It's not.
The question remains, can he stop?
Earlier this morning, and Stefanki honestly feels that Agassi and his group and his orchestra is not taking seriously enough that Rios is a lefty. I mean, he's not a real obvious lefty the way our friend John McEnroe was, or Goran Ivanisevic is such an obvious lefty. But
Half hour. Second serve is, we're underway here on the stadium court.
Even though this is being played.
Is that going to help?
And the scalpers were getting it. A tremendous start, a flying start from Marcelo Rios. This is exactly what he wanted to come out doing. Forehands looks quite a bit like Agassi's, doesn't it?
So Marcelo Rios holds, and we're underway at the Lipton.
The pump, only Mentadent's baking soda and peroxide activate on contact to create oxygenated bubbles. They power fluoride to tooth enamel, penetrating, making teeth stronger, healthier.
It's a wonderful taste. You can feel it working, this bubbling action in your teeth. And who doesn't want stronger teeth?
Mentadent, the toothpaste that activates on contact. Pumps strength into your teeth every time you brush.
If you don't use Advantage, scratch your ears. If you don't use Advantage, scratch your ear. For a month it works with ease. #1 for killing fleas. And gentle for a little one like me. Advantage kills fleas really fast. A few drops on the neck will last. Ask my doctor for Advantage for me, please.
I can't believe this incredible sense of lightness. I feel so light that I could float away. Could it be Stefan? Or I can't believe it's not Butter Light. After all, it does have half the calories of butter, no cholesterol, and of course, great taste. It must be I can't believe it's not Butter Light. I don't know anyone named Stefan.
Taste the light, fantastic. I can't believe it's not Butter Light.
The best tennis players in the world play on the ATP Tour. And like all great competitors, they disagree on just about everything. Which tournaments to play, surfaces, line calls, playing styles, even which language to argue in. But there is one thing they do agree on. The ball. The Penn ATP Tour ball. Bringing harmony to professional tennis.
Andre Agassi preparing for his first service game of the match. Sold out stadium court. Earlier this week, Mary found out about Lipton's involvement with this event.
We were the founding sponsor, and it's now 14 years ago. We thought it was good for us. It was a good way to get the people to focus on our brands, and we thought it was just a terrific thing in terms of associating ourselves with a great event.
What have been some of your favorite moments of the Lipton all these years?
Each year, we have been lucky that the finals have turned out to be an exciting event, regardless of who it was that has wound up in the finals. Even when the top seeds have been knocked out, the events have turned out to be memorable. And I think the exciting part about the whole sport is that that's what makes the sport so great.
Well, this has the potential to be one of the most memorable finals ever. And I mean, the crowd has not been quiet since we went away. Double fault.
Oh.
15 all. Andre has won his last 5 matches against top 10 players. That includes Alex Corretja the other night in the semifinals.
A pass, you know. Oh, yeah. That is good stuff.
So the early service break to Marcelo Rios.
Doesn't look like something you can really put away easily. Both guys are from the baseline. Andre's pretty speedy, although I do think Marcelo Rios is even quicker afoot. And I think Agassi is going to have to work a little bit harder. Agassi wanted a call and throws off. The disappointment, 30 love.
Second serve.
...120 miles an hour into the Agassi forehand. Spanked it back just as quickly as it came to him.
Relatively easy service game for Marcelo Rios. Great placement at 109 miles an hour for 40 love.
That is a great.
CBS Sportsline is the best site to get on. Asking for quiet. That probably will be a continuing problem. Chilean fans everywhere.
Fox doesn't go for too much. He gets an extraordinary amount of first serves in. And that's what hits.
Cooled me down. I was on fire and I was dry. I don't want my guys to see.
Marcelo Rios trying to become #1 in the world. Late.
Again, yanked on that one a little missed.
So break point. for 5-1 Rios.
Know about. Whenever. Get that second hand off his backhand side.
Great angle.
Agassi's played a lot of 5-set matches, and he's more than willing to grind. This is an 89-mile-an-hour serve, so it's sat up. And that's what gave Agassi that kind of an angle. Thinks that the 3 of 5 sets is to his advantage, even though he's got an awful lot of tennis in him. He won the Indian Wells title against Greg Rusedski. That went 4 sets, including 2 tie breaks. He's been playing a lot, but he thinks he's very fit. This is a good ball. That really is. That rifle shot from Agassi on the forehand drew the error from Rios after a long, complicated baseline rally. And that's going to be the question of the day from the baseline. Who pulls the trigger first and with the best aim? And it is hard to do. Just couldn't really react to that ball. It spun right into him, Rios.
So double break point for Agassi to get back on serve. Oh. A gift. Now Andre Agassi with his supporters. A little scrabble there. 4-3, first set.
Now, Rios has gone a little flat. Here's another. Agassi to try to create them, and that's just to
the open court. Too good.
One of my favorite people on the planet Earth, the great Billie Jean King. U.S. Fed Cup captain again. And this is tremendous experience for Agassi going into next weekend, because this is the closest thing to a Davis Cup match at a non-Davis Cup event that I have ever experienced. And now the Americans are cheering ferociously for the American, because Agassi has evened this match.
Great hustle from Rios.
Well, you give so much pressure to your opponent when you give the message that I will chase down everything. You're going to have to hit the ball so hard and so close to the lines to get it past me.
15.
The serving of Rios has really held up for him. Larry Stefanke, his coach, watching on. Again, not a big serve, 87 miles an hour, but he gets to go coast to coast. Drags Andre out of court, and then has all. That one just sat up way too much for Agassi.
And Andre climbed all over it.
It wasn't directed well enough, and it was too short. But still game point for Rios.
Great serve. 5-4.
Agassi said, let's see if Rios can handle my heat. Remember that? Well, you know what? He's getting quite a bit of heat himself. And on that occasion, he just wasn't able to get his racket back in time to react to it. This could be a real war of patience and fitness. What's the call? Paulo Pereira in the chair agrees that Rios found the court.
So 30-15.
And a couple of times now, Agassi thought he got hooked. The call stands. Pretty big call. It's now 30-15 at 5-all.
116 miles an hour right down the tee.
You know, Rios, in talking with this, I don't think it worked. A double fault. Two real sloppy looking.
A lot of the Rios game is based on football.
Number one in the world ever.
It was a battle, but Rios holds 6-5 first set.
haven't seen too many advances to the net, but this could not have been done better by Rios. More and more, he's getting comfortable using his opportunities to end a point, end these long rallies early. Didn't have to be a difficult volley at all. Just found the open court to 30 all.
Forced errors. Similar. There's a winner for Rios. And that was big. Set point for Marcelo Rios. Set point number 2.
And return, set up another set point situation for Marcelo Rios. This place is going to go nuts if he wins this one.
Second ace.
Again, the placement both these guys are showing in serving today has really been impressive. They're moving it all around the box.
That was perfect.
Again, both guys like that. They like getting attacked at the net. And this approach shot of Agassi's got him in trouble. It was up high and not deep enough. Now for the 4th time, Agassi is facing a set.
Third double fault.
It's turned into a soccer game.
7-5 in 47 minutes.
He is such a big deal in Santiago, Marcelo Rios. He owns about 5 houses, but he pretty much stays with his parents. Anti-hero.
Well, there may be a higher level of tennis than this, but I don't think anyone's played it yet.
Now Agassi trying to chase down all the good stuff from Rios. Just not there in time. They're both going to need a hot bath after this one.
(30-15).
Rios' father, Jorge, is too nervous. A little like Pete Sampras' mom. A couple of years. Boy, is she nice. TV personality. Back home. Well, afterwards, he... Now, he's a perfect coach for him. He's got 3 boys under the age of 10. And he could have such an effect on this sport. The game is huge. I'm a very big believer in his game. Possessed for so long, he's really harnessed. He's really taken under control. That didn't miss by much. That sat on the net. Having never won a major. Ranking, he didn't have any Grand Slam points on the computer either. Not from that year, 93. Nice hustle from Agassi. Got there in enough time to control a very difficult angle. You really have got to carve under a shot like this and then not overplay the angle.
That's wide.
Again, the wide and wide, you know, with his service motion.
Fourth ace for Marcelo Rios. We're in the second.
Short ball, and Agassi gets one here. He's really got to pick up his service percentage, though. It's killing him that he's given Rios so many short second serves. Misses that one. That's a bad miss off a defensive return of serve. Chino really comes up with the goods here. Agassi really tries to pound them. It was right there, didn't budge. Game of chicken that Rios wins.
Well, Rios, just great hands.
Here's Agassi's dilemma when he's been serving. A huge return. And cycle.
Previous Agassi service game, another here, and gets it.
It's 3 of 5 sets this week.
Second set, and there's an. Well, you'd think Rios would be the one a little flat after the break, but it's been Agassi.
Yeah, he's just way off.
Love service game from Marcelo Rios, 4-1, second set. Moved up and down over the years.
Oh, he's been all over the place. I mean, he'll put in a tremendous year and then kind of take off. Rios missed it. Overrule. We're going to have a discussion up here between Agassi and Paulo Pereira.
This ball was clearly in there. I would do the same over there. This ball was clearly in.
That could put.
service game for Stars and Stripes, piloted today by Captain Chambers, Goodyear's blimp. And now Andre Agassi serving to stay in this second set. Such a tough angle.
So dismissive of this 87-mile-an-hour serve of Agassi's. He's just making this look insultingly easy.
Low 30.
Look at this. The things that he's acting like, well, it occurred to me that maybe I should go in and try this. Yeah, that's the play.
So Agassi survives the set point. Come from 2 sets down a few times in his career, and if he's to win today, he'll have to do it against Marcelo Rio, the #1 player in the world.
Look at this. I love that mule kick backhand of his when he tries to get a little extra purchase on the shot, a little extra leverage by hiking up that leg. It's going to really...
The warm Florida sun.
If he continues to serve like that, he can go all the way to the top. Who doesn't at this point?
All. Marcelo Rios, who grew up playing on clay, but he's really developed an all-round game. In fact,
I mean, that's it. If he's got to come up with that kind of stuff for 3 sets, I don't know. That's the problem. The other guy knows how to do it too. Just a little too much time.
warm, warmest day of the tournament so far.
I mean, his location on serve has been remarkable. Andre Agassi has played under a lot more blimps than Marcelo Rios, but today Rios is putting in such a mature performance.
For Rios.
Broken string from Rios. He's lost all tension in his racket. That's why he's playing like this. Oh, that is unforgivable. Agassi knew that Rios' string popped and that he had no control. I mean, that's why he was just trying to known as, that's Rios' father, Jorge. Again, Rios' mom is here, but she's not here. Just can't sit in the stands and watch her kid. She's a tiny little woman who, a fierce singles player herself, hates to lose.
Well placed. Deuce. Agassi trying to make a little noise here. Old serve here, and he is the new #1 player in the world. Oh. 3 points away. Love, no protest from Agassi. Wild first serve. That was 30-15. Men's tennis has a new #1. One hour and 56 minutes. Marcelo Rios. And We'll be back to talk with him right after these messages.